So this is an Elddis Odyssey 544, just going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. Front of the van you've got your jockey wheel, hitch and handbrake. We'll take you through that in person on site. In the front locker you have 2 gas bottle tie downs. You can carry a maximum of 2 6kg propane gas bottles on the caravan at any point. The pipe work that goes into the gas bottle itself is a reverse thread fitment, so it needs to be turned the opposite way to release it to what you would a bottle, for instance. So you'd release a normal bottle, should I say, so you turn it the opposite way to release that fitment. On top of the bottle there's a gas valve that says open and close on it. The gas open is gas on and gas close is gas off. You've got the regulator built into the bulkhead as you do on any modern caravan. Coming down the off side of the caravan you've got your water pump connection that pushes into the side of the caravan. As you can see, it very simply pulls out and pushes in. The pickup pipe itself drops down inside the ack roll, so you can pick the water up from there. Down behind the ack roll you'll see that you've got the wind down leg to stabilise the caravan while it's on site. You don't ever lift the caravan with these legs, you only put them down to the ground so they touch the ground, but you can never lift it as it can potentially damage the floor of the caravan. Next up you have your heating and hot water flue. You need to remove this cover prior to igniting anything on gas inside the caravan. The cover just locks down in place, but to release it, just pull it off as you can see. Coming down the side of the caravan, you've got your 2 fridge vents. The 2 fridge vents are there to allow the hot air out the back of the fridge unit and to take some cool air in. Behind one of these you'll also find a gas flue for when the fridge is running on gas. The wheel nuts will torque before the caravan leaves site, so you can see they've been tightened correctly. Coming towards the back of the caravan you have your toilet flush tank, which takes 3.5 litres of water and a cap full of the pink fluid prior to use. And in the bottom you'll find the toilet waste cassette. You'll release it with the yellow handle at the bottom, pull the cassette towards you. The neck here turns out 90 degrees so you can tip the waste away. The yellow cap is a measure for your pink and your blue fluid. On the back of the cassette you've got a yellow pressure relief button, so when you're tipping the waste away it doesn't spit and splatter back at you. On the back of the caravan on either side you've got your 2 wind down legs to stabilise the van, which you'll see when you're here on site in place. And also on the back of the van you have your 2 grey waste pipes, where you'll have your 2 bits of grey pipe going into them larger diameter holes, and they'll drop down inside your waste master. Coming down the door side of the caravan you've got a storage locker at the rear for underneath the rear bed. And coming down to the front of the caravan you have your battery locker with your battery in there and your mains power lead coming in from the power on site. You've then got your gas barbecue point and your wind down leg for the front left hand side of the caravan. You also have a vent down the side of the van here that allows you to have heat coming out into your awning. As you can see, the caravan's still in our workshop at the moment, so it hasn't been cleaned yet, but I'll just take you through the internal operation as well. So as you come into the caravan, on the top left hand side here you'll have some light switches. So you've got an awning light switch for the outside of the caravan, and then you've got your roof light switches as you come through, so you've got 2 light switches here. Your main control panel for the caravan is just on the right hand side as you go towards the bed at the rear of the caravan. So you've got your mains power switch here. Can't turn this off at the moment. When you want the power off you turn this switch off upwards. You've then got your water pump switch, down with the on switch to turn the power on. The water pump run switch, orange light will appear here when the water system is running. The top position will be water pump off and the bottom position will be water pump on. You don't need to turn this off while the caravan's on site. However, you would need to turn it off before you drain the water system down. Button here, voltmeter, is to bring up the battery level on board the caravan. Then below that you have your heating and hot water switches, which I'll come back to in a moment. First thing you need to do when you come into the caravan is fill the water system up. So you've seen on the outside the ack roll connected, and you're going to come underneath the seat on the front right hand side of the caravan, and in here you'll find a yellow drain down valve. So down here on the floor you'll see the yellow valve, and when that yellow valve is parallel with the floor as it is at the moment, it means you can fill the water system up. If that valve is upright and pointing towards the bottom of the seat, it will drain all of the water out of the system back onto the floor underneath the van. So it needs to be flat with the floor prior to filling the system up. To fill the system up, you'll need to have every tap open on board the caravan in the hot position. Just going to move some bits around. So you'll come over to all the taps on board the caravan and open them all up on the hot position of the water system. As you can see, the water system is already filled up on this particular van at the moment. But to fill the system, you'll have all the taps open. I'm just going to shut them off because obviously there's water already in there. Open all the taps up on the hot side. That's including the shower and the sink in the bathroom. Then you'll come over to your control panel on the far side of the caravan and turn the water pump on. Initially, when you turn this water pump on, it's going to spit and splatter for a few seconds while it builds pressure and pushes any air out of the system. And once the air is out of the system, you'll have water running continuously out of every tap on board the caravan, as you can see here. Once that water system is full, you can shut all of the taps back off and you can start thinking about warming the water on board the caravan. You have two ways of doing this. You actually have electric and gas as a power source option. So on the wall on the far side below the main control panel, you have your electric water heater, which you can turn on here, and it'll allow the water heater to warm up on electric. And that is a preset temperature around 35 to 40 degrees. On the dial on the right hand side here, you've got the option to run gas for your water heating. Now I would advise when you're on site and you're wanting to shower on board the caravan that you ignite the gas system to boost the water system while you're showering. So you'll spin this outer grey dial here round to the flame symbol, and when it ignites on gas you'll have a green light appear in the back here. If it fails to ignite, you'd get a red light appear. That red light means it has failed to ignite on gas and you need to try and reignite it. On gas you can control the water temperature between 30 and 70 degrees of temperature, and that will essentially allow you to shower on board the van and to warm the water up to a higher temperature. But like I said, you do need to use that gas supply to warm the caravan up on to warm the water up on gas and for when you're showering on board the van. Below that you've got your option for your electric heating on board the caravan, so you can turn the switch on here on the left hand side below that, and down the side of here you'll see 500, 1000 or 2000 watts. Sorry it's not very clear in the video due to the light in the van. What you'll essentially be able to do is select either the 500, 1000 or 2000, then be able to control the temperature of the heater on electric on this dial in the centre. The only way you'll know what to set this to is by asking the site office when you arrive on your holiday and select the correct power source for what they are advising you to run. Obviously, the more amount of watts you can run through the heating and hot water system, the more efficient the heating will be. Coming to the top of the heater, you have several ways, or you have another way of running the heater. You have the option to run it on gas. The guys got it ignited at the moment, so I'll walk you through how to do it. Essentially, when the gas is turned off on the heater, it'll be on the 0 on this left hand side. To ignite it, you'd spin this dial all the way around between 10 and 9. Hold down the gas valve and it will self-ignite on gas. At that point, in this little window down here in the front of the heater that you can just about see, you'll have your pilot light, which you can see there in the video. Once it has ignited, you'll continue to hold down the gas valve for a further 5 to 10 seconds, then slowly release the gas valve. So like I said, once you've got it ignited, hold down the gas valve for 5 to 10 seconds, then slowly release the valve to make sure it has stayed ignited. You'd look back down in the pilot light window down the front here. You have got the option of running blown air heating as well, that being with the electric and gas, and you can run it as a combination with the electric and gas at the same time. You have the option on top here. You have the fan speed control, like you have in your car, for between 1 and 5, which will allow the fans to blow. The dot in the centre here indicates the heat is going to come out the front of the heater, like it is now on gas, and it's rather warm. The fan symbol here will allow the heat that is being produced by the heater to come out the vents around the caravan, the white vents you see at the bottom there, and there's several dotted around the caravan. Bear in mind though, when it does come through them vents, it will cool as it goes through them vents, so it won't be as hot as what it would be if it came out the front of the heater, but that is continuous blown out on the wave symbol. If you want to use automatic blown air, you can do by selecting A on the right hand side, and this essentially allows the thermostat to cut in and out the fans on board the caravan. Behind me we have the fridge, and again the guys have got this on test, so I'm just going to be a bit careful what I do here. You've got a power button on and off here. You can press and hold the power button and it will turn the fridge off. You'll press the button to turn the fridge back on. You can change the power source you're using by pressing the grey button on the left hand side here. At the moment, as you can see, we're on mains power, and if you're on mains power or gas, you can control the temperature of the fridge on the button on the right hand side here. To go to 12 volt battery, so 12 volt battery is the power from the car you are towing with, so it allows the fridge to work as a cool box. If you want this to work efficiently, then you would need to chill the fridge first on mains or gas to make sure it keeps at a cold temperature while you're travelling. It's flashing at the moment to indicate to me that there is no 12 volt supply coming from a car as we're in the workshop, but when you connect to the car that should go solid blue, and you do not need to have the main power switch on over this side of the caravan for it to operate. You can go to gas mode. The fridge will self-ignite on gas. If it fails to ignite on gas, the blue light here will flash to indicate it has failed, and you'll come up with a 9 and a spanner symbol here to indicate that failure. The last thing we go through in this particular caravan is the toilet system in the bathroom. In the bathroom, you have the toilet. The toilet has an electric flush on top, just here, as you can see. We can press the button and allow it to flush. The red light here will illuminate when the toilet waste cassette is completely full. The toilet seat itself turns for your convenience, as you can see. Spin it to the right position to where you want it to be. And below the toilet you have a grey waste handle which allows the toilet waste into the cassette under the van. To allow the waste into the cassette, you'll need to open the toilet flap up, and we do advise you shut it once you're finished. The grey flap will need to be in the shut position when you try to remove the toilet waste cassette from underneath the caravan. So that is the Elddis Odyssey 544. If you have any further questions on the caravan, please don't hesitate to give us a call here at the Caravan Company, and we'll be more than happy to help. We appreciate your business, and we look forward to seeing you here on site soon when you collect your caravan. Thank you for now. Bye bye.